Hello there Nintendo GBR fans. Okay, so this video is all about my GameCube library of games. I've amassed more games for my GameCube than any of my other consoles, and it's a collection that I'm quite proud of. There's not many games that I think I would sell out of this collection unless, as I always say, it's for the right price. Now, for the purposes of this video, so you get to see the games a little bit more, I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and show you the games. I'm not going to spin every box around unless anybody particularly requests it, because it's just going to take forever. Okay, so we start off with the classic that was Eternal Darkness. I'm sure many of the GameCube followers would remember Eternal Darkness with fondness, especially because, as it's called Sanity's Requiem, there are many parts in the game where you genuinely believed that either you were going mad or your GameCube was breaking. Really good game. There was talk that they were going to remake it or make a sequel, but nothing came of it. Another one of my favourites back in the day, Rocky. Doesn't look fantastic now, but this was an absolute fantastic boxing game for its day. The two-player on this was amazing, and I used to spend many an hour with my pals playing this game. Really good boxing game. Okay, so WarioWare Mega Party game. These were just fun to play when you were bored for half an hour, 40 minutes. It was kind of casual games before casual games become the norm. I think stuff like WarioWare would be fantastic on apps on Android or iOS because of the nature of the games. I think Nintendo are missing out there. Wario World, I picked this game up later in its life. It was just a game I wanted to play. Didn't think it was that great, but just wanted to pick it up. Killer 7. Now, as I remember, there was a number of exclusive games at Capcom. It's like an exclusivity deal that Capcom made with Nintendo. And it was when the Resident Evil exclusives come out. And they made some games. This was one of them, Killer 7, and the other one, PN03, which I have got in the collection. I didn't really get into this game. It was it went over my head a little bit, but I kept it nonetheless. Harry Potter, Quidditch World Cup. Now, I didn't buy this game. I used to work in Virgin Megastores before they collapsed. And whilst there was a massive clear out, one of my managers found a number of games that were no longer on the system, and he just asked me if I'd like them. So this was one of the games that I had that was given to me. So next up, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. This was one of my preferred Mortal Kombat games back in the day. It wasn't perfect, but it was a good fun beat 'em up nonetheless. And as I was a Mortal Kombat fan, most games seem to appease my appetite. Next up, as we was discussing, PN03 from Capcom. Again, this was a bit of a futuristic kind of shoot 'em up game. I didn't really get it, but I kind of wanted to get it because it was part of the Capcom exclusive games to the GameCube, hence why I bought the title. Now I'm just going to pull out a little bit here. This is the Resident Evil exclusive collection. You had Resident Evil 0, which was a brand new game made by Capcom. You had the remake of Resident Evil, which was just amazing. Resident Evil 2, which was unfortunately a port from the PlayStation, as was Resident Evil 3. Code Veronica was a port from the Dreamcast, I believe, because it originally came out on the Dreamcast before going over to PS2 and GameCube. And then at the time, the exclusive Resident Evil 4. This is the American version of the game. I will show you the back of this, just in case you're interested. I believe the box art's slightly different to the European one. I was so obsessed with Resident Evil at the time that I just had to have this game, and as I had the freeloader, I just had to get it, and it was just absolutely amazing game. Okay, so next up we have Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Again, carrying on from the Paper Mario on the N64. It was a good game. I'm not sure if I completed it, can't remember, but I remember it being quite a lot of fun. Obviously the legendary Super Smash Bros. Melee. Frustratingly for me, I forgot that I bought it and Player's Choice. So I think I need to go out of my way to get the normal box. I'm not a massive Smash fan, but I would just like to have the standard box and not the Player's Choice box. Next up is Star Fox Adventures, which I loved at the time. I thought it was an absolutely blinding game. I can't remember how well it scored review-wise, but I think that this would be fantastic if they could bring something like this back to the Wii U, because I just loved this game. Really, really good game. F-Zero GX was a good racing game. I think I bought this at a later stage because I never owned it, but yeah, it was a good game. Obviously, a title here that came out to a kind of fanfare, but there were some people that didn't like this game, Super Mario Sunshine. Some people kind of thought that it was more based in the world, and it didn't quite work for Super Mario Sunshine. For some reason, Super Mario Sunshine, on my copy, come in a blue box. I don't know if that was standard for Super Mario Sunshine, or if the retailer had put it in a different box. I've no idea, but that's how I bought it. But I enjoyed Mario Sunshine. It was a good game. Mario Kart Double Dash. This was the version, as you can quite clearly see. If I just zoom in a little bit here, hopefully it'll focus up for me. Includes it was the I think it was the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition that had a number of different Zelda titles. I'll turn this one over, see if it's mentioning it on the back. No, it doesn't. From various systems. Bear with me. This was the card that you got with the Gamecube. You had to buy the Gamecube with that. So I traded my old Gamecube in and got it. And on that disc you got The Legend of Zelda, The Adventure of Link, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. And a playable demo of the Wind Waker. So that disc is pretty special. And just again, for the purposes, I'll just open the box. And there we have it, the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. I don't know how much this is worth currently, but I know it goes for a pretty penny. So I'm quite pleased that I have that in my collection. So just shut that up. And then, last but not least for this segment, we've got Luigi's Mansion, a fantastic launch title for the GameCube. People whinged about there was no Mario game, but I absolutely love this game. I thought it was a fantastic little jaunt, and if you have never played Luigi's Mansion, you must play it. Hi there, Nintendo GBR fans. So carrying on my collection, Mario Power Tennis. If you remember me saying earlier that when I worked in Virgin Megastores, there were a few games that were found behind like a back of a unit. This was another one that I got for free, so it wasn't bad. I got Mario Power Tennis and Harry Potter, the Quidditch game. You know, they weren't really my thing, but for free you can't say no. Two of my personal favourites on the GameCube, Beautiful Joe and Beautiful Joe 2. I didn't complete number 2 because I think something else came out and my attention was taken away. But I absolutely fell in love with Beautiful Joe, the way that you could just speed things up, slow things down, get all these moves. It was a really deep game, and there was a lot more to Beautiful Joe, so if you haven't played them, I'd recommend it wholeheartedly. Again, another one of my favourites, which I imported from America, was the Mega Man Anniversary Collection, which had 10 games in one. Again, just for the purposes as it's an import, I'll turn over. And it just basically says, challenge yourself with some of the most extreme Mega Man titles ever released while unlocking a cache of bonus features in this special collection to celebrate Mega Man's 15th anniversary. For the first time ever, play the original Mega Man 1 through 8 series and 2 never before released in the US arcade games on your Nintendo GameCube. And it was a lot of fun because you couldn't get all these games together. And every so often I unpack my GameCube and pop this on because it's a lot of fun. So really happy I got that. Next up is Zelda Four Swords. This one, I don't think you can see the little yellow circle on the top there, came bundled with the Game Boy Advance Connect lead to give you different playing options. I wasn't a massive fan of this, but because I'm a Nintendo collector, I bought it anyway, and it's held its value pretty well. Quite pleased with that. Moving on, we have the legendary Metroid Prime, which you can see there, Games TM 10 out of 10. This was a game changer for first person shooters. And yeah, this was around, I think obviously there was Halo before it. I think Halo came out with a launch for the Xbox. I think Metroid followed on after. But you know, there were some good games around at that time for first person shooters. Obviously Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, if you ever played it, it's a complete contrast to the first game. I think a bit harder, but enjoyable nonetheless. Now again here we have Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and again you can see their limited edition, including 2 game bonus disc, which is inside, and that disc again was never before released, the Ocarina of Time and Master Quest. So I've got loads of these all the Zelda games on these discs for the Gamecube. So they keep re-releasing them, so it's nothing new. If you're a younger person watching these, they've done it before and they'll keep doing it because they're popular games. And last but not least, the receipt masking what was Legend of Zelda. This is Twilight Princess, and I knew at the time that this was going to be worth money because they had a limited run, I believe, for the GameCube, because it ended up being a launch title for the Wii. So it was less likely that people were going to buy this for the GameCube, and I was so confident of that, I bought a copy and left it sealed, kept it sealed. I'm really glad that I did do that. And somewhere I do have a guide for this. I don't know where the guide is currently, but I bought a guide that goes with it. So yeah, really glad that I bought this. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the videos. If you've got any questions, then please let me know. Thanks very much.